Welcome to What's Cooking with Rochelle. Today we are going to make a classic ham and Gruyere and cheddar cheese quiche. So a ham quiche is very filling. It does take about an hour in the oven, but you could prep it ahead of time and get it ready to go. It's something that if you have time on a Saturday or Sunday, if you're off, that would make a great time to do it. So we're going to start off by making just a basic pastry crust. We are doing a shortening crust. So I have 1 cup of white flour. To that, I am adding 6 tablespoons of shortening. And we're going to go ahead and combine this. You can do this with your hand. You could do it with a mixer if you wanted, a stand mixer. Once we get the shortening combined a little bit more, we're going to add water, and we're going to add 3 tablespoons of water. And you guys have seen me do this many times before. If you don't need to see this part, okay, let's get our water. And you can adjust this, you know, sometimes the humidity in your air or the measurements, the type of flour, sometimes it takes a little less water, a little more water. Once we get this combined, we're going to roll out our crust. That's looking good. All right. Set that aside for now. Alrighty, let's get our mat to roll it on. We're gonna take this stuff out of the frame for now. If you don't have a pastry mat to roll on, you could absolutely roll on a piece of parchment paper. You could also roll out your dough on a silicone mat. You could buy dough already made. All right, underneath this, as usual, we're going to just put a little bit of flour. Spread that around. Make a nice flat ball. Okay, so start with it in the center. Now, the pan I'm using today is a 9-inch deep dish. So I know by the circles on here how far I need to go. Remember, we start at the center and roll it towards the edges. Sprinkle just a little bit more. That little extra flour just keeps your rolling pin from sticking to it. And you know that the dough is thin enough when you can see underneath the design. It's almost there. All right, let's go ahead and get this rolled up. Once you get the edge started, you just simply pick it up. It'll roll right over. We are grabbing our pie pan. You place it on the edge and simply unroll it. Lift up the edge and let it fall into the pie pan. And voila. Okay, so for my quiche, I am going to crimp the edges. So we're just gonna grab it and pinch your thumb and finger together. Pull off the extra. See how that just falls off? We're actually going to use a little bit of that over here. Well, that doesn't happen too often. Look at that, almost perfect amount. All right. Put this to the side for now, and then we're going to make all of the inside parts. You are not par baking it or anything like that. You're going to leave it as is. Okay. All right. Now you're going to need a decent sized bowl because we're going to beat the eggs. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We have 6 eggs here. And I am simply going to crack them all into my bowl and beat them until they're combined. I didn't want to let go. This should feed, I would say, 4 to 6 to 8 people, depending on how much other stuff you're actually making with it. All right, we got the dough off our hands. Now we can get down to business. All right, I have a teaspoon of pepper. I like pepper. If you don't like pepper as much, you can cut that down. And a half a teaspoon of salt. Excellent. Now we're adding our other wet ingredients to the eggs. I have 3/4 of a cup of whole milk and a half a cup of heavy cream. Apologize, guys. Okay, and just give that a quick mix. Quiche is actually really easy. Just takes a little while in the oven. So I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And like I said, we're going to cook it in there for probably 50 minutes to an hour. To this, I am adding the other ingredients. So I have pre-cooked ham that you could see that I have diced up. And that is probably 1.5 cups of ham. And then I have 4 ounces of Gruyere cheese and 4 ounces of a sharp cheddar cheese. This is going to be cheesy and wonderful. To that, we are adding some green onion. That's just going to add a little bit of texture and taste to it. If you don't like green onion, you could use white onion or no onion at all. And that is simply it. Let's get our crust back and get it together. Alrighty. Now all you do is simply dump it into the crust. Make sure it's kind of spread around evenly. I'm gonna go get my spatula. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, in the oven it goes. I'll see you guys back here in an hour. It looks lovely. Ah, wonderful. All right, we're gonna let this cool down for just a minute and then we're gonna go ahead and get to eat. See you back here in a second. All right, so we're down to the best part of the day where we get to eat our beautiful ham quiche that we made. This was with a mixture of cheddar and Gruyere cheese. That green onion just adds a little bit of kick. I hope you enjoy your quiche. If you have any other great quiche recipes you'd love me to make for you, I'd be happy to do that. Please subscribe if you like this video, and thank you once again for watching What's Cooking with Rochelle. Bye for now.